Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. This particular project is a DIY shed slab. So right now, the homeowner actually started this project. He dug it all out, and then since I had worked here in the past, I did the patio that you see there. He called me back in just to set up the forms and place the concrete. And what we're doing is an 18-foot long by 9-foot wide. So my initial layout was parallel with the existing patio. I put that form in, as you can see, first. Then I ran another form 9 feet out parallel with the one I had already put in. Now all I have to do is 3, 4, 5 that corner, as you've seen there, and swing it into my other form. Now I have a perfect square corner. Now I can pull my measurement, my 18 foot off of that end, mark either side, and I don't have to run a square again. Now I'm setting this box a little bit higher than the existing patio. In between the two, there will be some stone in there and some drip irrigation. Maybe some types of low vegetation of some sort. After we spread out the soil to the bottom height of the 2x4s, we go ahead and compact. Also, we're putting 6 1-foot by 1-foot holes along the perimeter for the hold downs of the new shed. So we're doing one in each corner and then one in the middle on both sides. That'll be your fastening area. Now we're going to lay some number 3 rebar, which is 3/8 diameter, at 2-foot centers in both directions. This particular house is on a hillside, so it's going to be difficult to get the concrete up the driveway, which is on a hill, and into the backyard. So I'm going to order a pump, and I'm going to do it all through one place, and that's through the concrete company. They're going to set the whole package up for me. I'm just going to tell them the size that I have, the depth, and what I want, what I'm trying to achieve, and they're going to tell me the mix, and they're going to send a pump. So here it is, the day of the pour. I really flooded this hard during the setup day and really let it saturate. Now overnight or over the weekend, we had a lot of leaves falling on here. So we used the blower and we blew all the leaves out before we poured, rather than pouring over the top. Here's the fiber mesh that I'm dropping in. This is 2 yards, and I dropped in about 2 pounds of fiber mesh, which I happen to have available at my storefront. That's an aluminum 2x4 screed board there, perfectly straight, so that's ideal for screeding these off if you want them nice and flat. Now we're running this bowl float perpendicular to the direction we were rodding the concrete, which is ideal. In some cases you can't really do that because you don't have the space, but in this situation we did, so this is going to assure that you have a really flat surface. Even though a shed will be going on top of this, we still put a little bit of slope on here. And we've got about 1% slope in both directions. 1% is 1/8 of an inch per foot. Just like 2%, 2/8, 3%, 3/8 per foot, and so on. I just tried to rig up that GoPro to the pole of the bull float. And I think we have the GoPro rigged up on here on the pole of the walking edger. And that's a 1/2 inch radius. This particular mix design is a 3000 psi. So with a pea gravel, that's 6.5 sacks of cement per yard. Now, if that was big rock rather than pea gravel, you could go less cement and still get the same PSI. Well, so it was 3/4 rock, you could go 5.5 sacks cement per yard and still come up with the same PSI. So the smaller the rock, the weaker it is, so the more cement you got to add. So we run the wood bull float, and then we back it up with a 4-foot magnesium. And then we come back with Big Blue. We're going to put one control joint down the middle, wet cut in the cement. Then what we're going to do is come back here in a couple days, strip the forms out, and we're going to make a saw cut going the long ways right down the middle. So basically we're going to have 4 rectangles in there when it's all said and done. Here's a trowel, a funny trowel. What makes it funny is that it's a hand trowel basically attached to a pole. Some people call them whips, some people call them crazy trowels. Here's that 50% horsehair, 50% nylon. And that, when you see that come out, you know it's getting near the end. But here's your cleanup. Here's your stripping of the forms. The homeowner kept this good and wet, and what I've instructed him to do is to wet it down an hour after I leave and do that continuously for 3 days every 2 hours during sunlight hours. And that's going to assure a slow cure, optimizing the inevitable strength of the concrete. Here we are with the Medusa from Skill Saw. Snap the line down here, no guides, no necessary. Just set it down, drop that little roller there, the roller wheel, and it rolls true and straight every time. Now if you took those wheels off of that Medusa and put it on a skateboard, that would be ideal in rough terrain. There's your finished product. The water drains beautifully, and now it's ready for shed construction. A good idea also, if you're going to put a shed on here when it goes up, is to go ahead and seal that concrete. Put a nice lacquer base on there. That way when you're storing stuff in there, rust isn't penetrating, oil, whatever tools you may have in there is not really disturbing the concrete. Because we had that fire mesh, you can see how that That cut was clean and crisp. There's not a lot of fractures on the sides of the blade where it cut. That's all due to the fire mesh, because we cut that the day after the pour, which is only about 20 hours old, 24 hours maybe. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to see the latest and greatest roll out as I post them up. Have a good one.